What you probably heard was the sound of Manchester United fans' hearts breaking all across the world because their prospective signing, Antoine Griezmann, in, let's just be honest, the most astounding sign of loyalty, signed a new contract with Atletico Madrid. Now, I don't believe that he had every inclination of doing this, just on my thought here so far. He stated on French TV that he was around 6 out of 10 at going to Manchester United. He didn't look his happiest self, I would say, in the latter stages of his Atletico career, of what we thought would be. And I thought that it was destined that he was going to join Paul Pogba and join forces with Mourinho. But it just came out after Atletico Madrid had been handed or upheld, their transfer ban, which was going to keep them from signing any new players in the transfer window, which probably would have been just them being signaled to a really rough season where they'd have to potentially lose their best player, no one really to replace, a season that was lackluster in every kind of aspect of it, from Champions League play, going out against Real Madrid without a fight, really, and then a poor performance in La Liga. It could have been a horrible, horrible outcome for Atletico Madrid.
But here's what I'm curious about out of all of this. What did Atletico Madrid say to Diego Simeone? Because they were probably like, look, you're going to lose Griezmann. You're also not going to be able to buy anybody. But you get a brand new stadium, so you got to stick with us. You know, it's gonna be fun. You know, if you take them to the Champions League and lose in PKs, I mean, come on, man, you've done literally everything you could possibly do, not being the top flight club, because we don't. Maybe, just random. I had a ridiculous thought.
I've got one as well.
Maybe they said, oh, there's a transfer ban, so all the money we were going to use in the transfer ban, just all for you, Simeone.
Well, you know, that's not even like...
Here's $100 million.
Well, you said you had a crazy thought. Mine's is way crazier than that, but I'm just thinking, like, mine's is obviously way in the realm of fiction. But...
So is mine.
Well, that's not completely... I mean, there's been managers that's got a lot of money. Mine's is when you look at Diego Simeone dressed in all black with his slick back hair, that we don't know where Antoine Griezmann is because he's been kidnapped and he's been forced to put pen to paper on a new contract.
They're going to be breaking ground on the Diego Stadium, Moni, and I'm very excited for this day.
It's still the best name possible for the stadium.
There's no way that I will ever be prouder of you than what I was when you came up with that name in the clip. Diego Stadium, Moni.
Now, we joked and we said, I don't think it would have been actually the case, but without Griezmann staying there was an actual case for saying, hey, could they get relegated?
There wasn't,
no,
but I said it.
No, but will they finish like 10th? Probably. I mean, the team is still good. Don't get me wrong. Don't get you wrong. But what Griezmann's doing for a sport that you are very accustomed to, Mbappe, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Mahrez probably going some top flight club. Alexis Sanchez looks like he might eventually finally realize, I don't want to play for Wenger anymore. Yeah. Even Vidal is saying like, hey man, you could come to Bayern, do literally half the work, be twice as good, and at least play into the, well, you get to beat Arsenal in the Champions League when we're drawn with them again. So.
Is that an accomplishment?
An accomplishment, just a given.
Yeah, it's just a given thing. But what Atletico Madrid have always been able to do after losing a big player is just bring in someone who can help. Yeah, and this year, this was going to be removed from them. They were going to be in a transfer ban that were preventing them from bringing in a replacement. Look at the history of it. Falcao, Aguero, Torres, all the players that really were staples of that club left, and they brought in someone else to replace them. I would have feared for Atletico Madrid. Do I think they would have went mid-table? I don't know. Maybe 5th, 6th, 7th place.
Well, they finished this year, 4th.
Yeah, I think they were in 4th. When you look at what happened, now, I'm not comparing both, but when you look at how Leicester City fell away with N'Golo Kante leaving, yeah, they tried to replace him, but he was so vital to that team in the way that Antoine Griezmann, yes, he's not a defensive aspect of that team, so they're not going to all of a sudden just concede goals. But how do you know they don't double in how many games they draw because they needed his expertise in front of goal? How do you know that they suddenly become a team that is so defensively sound but can steal 1-0 or 2-1 victories? They just kind of fall by the wayside and really struggle. I would have hated to see it. And I think, even just from a way to unite the team, this is such a huge thing where it's like, you know what? I'm not fucking leaving. It was the scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he was staying.
I'm not leaving. That's 2015-2016 Premier League champions, Leicester City.
Yes,
that's Francis. You know, they fall apart, they go away.
That's Champions League.
Final 8.
Quarterfinalists.
Quarterfinalists, Leicester City. Ranieri's Knights of the Round Table, Leicester City.
Always remember.
Jamie Vardy's party.
Still ongoing.
Yeah, no, they're nothing. No, they're fine. Yeah.
But then again,
no, we don't. They're gone. Don't say anything bad about Leicester City.
You could
it's
say
it's not their fault. It's like the scene from Good Will Hunting. It's
Yeah.
not your fault. It's not your fault.
But
It's not your fault.
there's the other side of it that you have to kind of weigh up without being the prophet of darkness. Do I think it's the right move for Antoine Griezmann to stay?
No.
I don't think so.
Not if he wants to. Well, hold on.
No.
Man
it's not.
United crawled into.
I'm not talking about Man United. I'm talking about just in general to move.
Okay. Well. So okay, this is what I don't get. Antoine Griezmann came up through Atletico Madrid.
No, he was in another. He played.
How
his
long has he
trade
been there for?
In Spain as well. He's been there for maybe a good 4 years.
So let's say he does stay.
Yeah.
He could go down as their greatest ever player. No?
He's got, Fernando Torres in great company. I don't know the full
Maybe he saw the send-off
extent
that
of
like
Atletico Madrid's.
like Totti got, and John Terry was like, "Hey, you know what? I can make a whole legacy for myself here.
Yeah,
I can make a lot of money here. I could compete here." But I agree. I think if you really wanted to win more trophies, you'd have to make a switch.
There's one thing that you take away from it is how, if you've ever questioned how much impact Diego Simeone has over his players, this is it. Like the star player who had offers on the table wants to stay put because he doesn't want to see the team that he's bought into, the system that he's bought into, the mentality that he's bought into disintegrate. And he feels that he probably would feel very guilty if he was to leave when they could not find anyone to replace him. And I know these are all kind of general talking points that might not have any substance until Griezmann comes out and says the reason why he did stay. But at the moment, Manchester United are not, obviously, they won't be left in a dire state by not having Antoine Griezmann. They'll probably go out and buy someone else with all the money they have. But Atletico Madrid, I think their future looks a little bit brighter now. The fans are probably a lot more at ease that they thought that their season that could have been a very tough one is now looking pretty much the same as what it did this year.
And at least on the national stage, next year with the World Cup in France, them still probably being one of the 3 or 4 favorites to win the entire thing, if not the favorite.
I would imagine so.
You can still raise some hardware that way. So,
either way, I'm sure I would love to see Atletico just prove everyone or both of us wrong and just come back and win Champions League next year and La Liga.
They're not a fun team to play. There's no one who's ever been like, yes,
We got Atletico.
Atletico Madrid. I can't wait.
That's the truest thing. Both from the managerial level, because no one wants to face the slick back, all black Diego Simeone, who currently has Griezmann tied up signing signatures. But either way, hit us in the comments. We will see you soon. Let us know what you think of Antoine Griezmann and all things around the world of football.